Okay, welcome. Today we're going to talk about the other procedural codes that we use on the claim form. This is the HCPCs Level II book. This is used for mostly supplies, but we also have some services that are and procedures that are billed from it. The key difference between your CPT book and your HCPCs book is that if you're billing for a Medicare patient, aka a Medicare beneficiary, you always want to navigate and use this book whenever a code is applicable. That doesn't mean we don't use our CPT book for Medicare patients. We do. It doesn't mean that we don't use HCPCs codes for our commercial carriers, Blue Cross, Aetna, United Healthcare. We do. But if there's an applicable HCPCs code when we're billing for a Medicare patient, this is it. Use it. So again, you can tab your books. You don't have to. This is your tool book. But the key, again, with all reference books is to get familiar with it. So let's open it up. We have our HCPCs book, and I have just a few sections tabbed. But you will see that there's a lot of good information in the beginning of your book. There's an explanation of symbols and conventions. Remember, we see those symbols throughout the book. What do they mean? Here's where their explanation is. It's telling us something. This book is our coding Bible. We know how to use it and read it. It will guide us appropriately. So again, it's no memorizing required. It's knowing where to go to look where I can find my answer when I have a question. Keep looking through these beginning pages. All reference book has a wealth of information. Now what I like is the anatomy illustrations because I can add notes, I can write, or I can look at anatomy to help me understand what I'm trying to code. After that section, just like all coding, is the index. So here the index is in the front of our book. Remember our CPT book? The index was in the back. In our ICD-10 book, the index was in the front. So half of the battle to coding is just getting familiar with our books. We look them up the same way, main terms, subterms, but here our main terms are in bold. Our next section is the table of drugs. And these are drugs other than chemotherapy drugs. These will be J codes, but they're a very handy table. It will tell you what the drug is, the dosage, how it's administered, then the appropriate code. But you still want to go verify the code in the section in the back of the book. Now, we also have modifiers, guys. We have HCPCs National 2 modifiers. They're all in alphabetical order. And then, last but not least, are our codes. You can tab each section, but all the HCPCs codes start with a letter followed by 4 numbers. So all procedure codes are 5 characters. CPT Level 1 codes are all 5 numbers. CPT Level 3 codes are 4 numbers followed by a letter, and then your HCPCs codes are a letter followed by 4 numbers. So 5 characters in total. We have A codes, our supply codes. Just skim through this. You'll get familiar with it. It's very similar to the rest of your coding. We have B codes that are enteral and parenteral nutrition. We have D codes. If you guys are working for the dentist, you're going to be using D codes for the dentist. Durable medical equipment is E codes, and so on. So that's the coding basics. Tab this as much or as little as you want. And as always, happy coding.